And we are live with there we go, with Roll20 and in the final hour, 40 minutes.
All right. Yeah, I think we'll probably do like a half hour or so of just tidy up, and then we'll do the highlights and everything at the end.
Cool.
So, do we want to, I guess, Frankie, this is your call. Should we be like on the boat already? Do you want to talk to Metropolis again? I mean, they're kind of like quiet now. They know they've been bested, basically. And the whole thing with Navarre is a big disappointment. So they keep quiet and they kind of just want to get rid of you.
Yeah, I don't think we have more here. I mean, I know Gritch was plotting something. So, Andrew, if you want to do that,
Yeah.
that's totally cool. But as far as Frankie's concerned, we're on the boat and
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
leaving, I guess, and forgetting everything.
Okay. So I think, like, Gritch, maybe, where do you go when you get on the boat?
I think Gritch is really preoccupied with wanting to be able to remember all of this stuff that has happened. And so maybe the one last thing I'll do is I'll try to like take some token of these events away with me. Although I guess we have Navarre's armor maybe as that. So maybe I don't even need to worry about it. But yeah, that's my big preoccupation. So maybe I'm trying to like convince Navarre to like give me that spare suit of armor. Like, yeah, I want to like investigate.
Like put it in your quarters.
Yeah.
I would.
So I think
when we're safe.
I think what you have available, like in your memory, once you leave, and it fades really quickly, back to, like, you went to the Enclave, but there was nobody there. It's just a big empty wreck. Some stuff happened there. Like, you have the emotional, like, you feel like tense, but you can't remember what. And like, you have this suit of armor, this extra suit of armor, you don't know where it came from. You can assume you found it there, but you don't, like, the people are absent. You don't remember there being anyone there or any kind of settlement or anything. It all just kind of fades. You're just left with sort of the ambient emotional stuff. You can remember things that each other did. Like, Navarre, you remember, like, you have a scar and it was stitched up. You don't know who did it, like who stitched it up, but you remember that, like, Gritch did something that made Eugene get upset, and then you tried to step in. Like, those things are still in your head, but yeah.
Interesting.
So I think that being said, Gritch, Eugene corners you, like, I don't know, in the mess room, in a little, like, cabin or something.
Yep.
And so maybe you go in first, and then you hear the door open and close behind you.
Yeah.
And you turn around, and Eugene is there, and he looks pissed off. And, like, cold angry. Not like, like, not hot but cool. Not hot but hard. And he is walking towards you with, like, a very distinct sense of, like, a violent purpose.
I'll kind of like smile.
Okay. So he gets within, like, arm's reach of you as you smile, and he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna be smiling long, motherfucker!" And he grabs you and, like, slams you into, like, a cupboard, and a bunch of, like, metal cups or something, like, whatever you guys use, like, fall out. And he's, like, got you pinned against the cupboard, and he's like, "What the fuck was that shit about?" And, like, slamming you into the cupboard.
And I'm like getting all like shook up, and I'm like, "Well, you could let me tell you."
And I think that he's just like, he's asking you, and he does want an answer, but right now he just wants to berate you and like knock you around a little bit. Like, you start to talk, and he's doing that thing sometimes where people are angry and they're like, "Tell me why you did it," and you start to explain. They're like, "Don't try to explain it to me." And that's basically what he's doing. He's like, "What the fuck was that about?" And you're like, "Well, you could let me tell you." He's like, "I'm not gonna let you say shit," and, like, slams the thing again.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, shut up! I'm talking.
So I like try to like seize control of my own person, because right now he has that.
Okay, how are you gonna do that?
With my violence that is terrible.
With my violence.
My really bad violence. No, like, I'm just like trying to like push him away.
You want to fight him? Yeah.
Okay, I'm just like fighting.
All right. Yeah, I mean, you both got one arm up on the table, so. and it's harm is for you. So I think you start to struggle, and he lets go with one hand and pulls it back and just bang punches you across the face, and your head snaps back and like hits the cabinet. How are you doing for harm there, Tiger?
I've taken 3 harm. I'm at 9 o'clock.
All right, cool. So you're right at the edge of like, if he continues to beat you, you could die. But that's not what this is about. That was just to like, don't you try to get away from me.
Yeah, I'm taking the move where I can go aggro with my brain.
Okay, awesome. You get all fucking Gandalf and his shit, like
so I like try to resist like with
oh my god
body, right? I'm just like trying to push him away and it's not working. And then I think I'm just gonna like still got me by the neck or whatever, and I just like grab onto his hands and like stare into his eyes and just start like it's like I almost as if I'm scanning him, but then I just start wrecking things once I'm in.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Twisted.
So you probe, like normally you're the thief in the night, right? You're the like skulker through the library, but this time you're just gonna fucking punch the front door down.
Normally I'm a surgeon, and now I'm being
You're a chainsaw.
I was gonna say you're me in there.
You place the scalpel gently on the floor and pick up the chainsaw and just fucking get in there.
And
get
you
fucked,
succeeded.
Buddy. Seriously.
On
Okay,
your
so
own too.
so his choices are force your hand and suck it up, or cave and do you want him to like let you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna explain to him, but
I think that he responds to violence with violence and like tries to keep struggling, and then you just like mind blast him. So how much harm does he take?
Sorry, I'm looking that up now.
I think it's 1 AP. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
It might be 2. I think it's 1.
1 harm AP close as an option, and I think it's going to be loud. Like he just starts writhing and
So the loudness is him.
The loud is not my brain; it's him being all like.
Okay, because I mean the loud could also be like a strange high pitched noise or like a psychic pulse of sound. But yeah, I mean it also could be just him screaming. So I think that's what happens is that he like punches you and he hauls back to punch you again because he's got some momentum. He's just going to keep hitting you. And then, you get your brain up in his business, and he like drops you and like staggers back, trips over the bench, and collapses on the ground. And he's like screaming and grabbing his head. Do you want anyone else on the ship to hear him screaming? I'm asking you as a player.
Everyone else on this ship can hear him screaming.
Okay, I mean it is loud. I was just giving you the choice.
Yeah, because like it's not necessarily doing that much permanent damage, but it's just like.
Yeah, cosmetic damage.
Neuron in your body that can make you feel pain is doing that. Like,
yeah, cosmetic damage, pain, concussion, fear of the NPC is likely to be afraid of pain. I would say he's not afraid of pain, but he is in it. So, okay,
it's like very overwhelming.
So he lets you go and like collapses and like screaming, holding his head.
Yeah, and it's like also.
But I think he's screaming, but he's not screaming like he's screaming words. It's not just like words of pain. He keeps screaming like, "Get off me! Get off me! I can't breathe."
Yeah, definitely. It's triggering memory for him.
Yes.
It's like he's remembering being killed.
Yeah. Get off me! Get off me! I can't stop, please.
Awesome.
So I bang
and like clutching his throat.
Yeah.
Slam the door open.
Okay.
I got with the pistol out and like step into the room thinking like, oh, they wanted to get on my boat and start messing with the crew now. Like these fucking gas mask people never learn.
And these gas mask people you don't remember
dusting their jacket.
Yeah, that's true. I don't remember them. I just remember
out their cuffs and stuff. Like I'm just brushing myself off.
Wipe blood off your face.
Like flopping on the floor like a fish.
Yeah, the stuff is like scattered out of the cupboards. You've got a bloody nose or something, maybe.
Yeah. And I actually think that the way that Eugene's body is moving, like he's either like the world's greatest mime, or there's actually something invisible like on top of him.
Like
he's flying. His shoes are like kicking on the ground. You can hear them squeaking on the deck.
Yeah.
And it seems like he just can't get up, like he's being held down. And then this is the part where Grinch is like, "Apology accepted, Captain."
He's finding someone's lack of faith disturbing. I don't know whose it is.
All right, so Frankie busts into the room.
Yeah, so now I see this nonsense, and I don't know who to shoot or what to shoot or who to yell at or what to do.
And I'll maybe like put my hand out. I like turn and see you, and I put my hand out. Like, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, and Eugene is still just like right.
I think it's starting. Yeah, it's starting to be fine. Like Eugene's less screaming and more like gasping breaths, as if he's just been pulled up from underwater. And it's like his eyes are kind of glossed over, and he's like staring at the ceiling. But he's not like kicking and flailing now. He's just like holding his chest and like.
And I like walk up.
Frankie, you've seen him have panic. You've seen him have panic attacks before, and that's what it looks like now, minus all the violent stuff you just walked in on finishing.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk up and stand over him, and I just say, "You may have thought it was bad when your own mind did it to you. This is what I will do to you. Do not touch me again."
So he looks at you, Frankie, and he's like, "I don't. Get me off this fucking boat. I'm done. I'm done with this bullshit."
I turn to Frankie, and I'm just like, "I would not have a problem with you throwing him off the side of the boat."
So he's like getting up. He puts his hand on the bench and starts to get up and looks at you, and he's like, "I mean, fucking throw me off the boat, motherfucker. I mean, I'm done. I quit. Drop me the fuck off. Take me to Jericho."
Yeah. I kind of give him the motion, like I step back so that he has room towards the door, and I just kind of like wave him past me.
Yeah, and he storms past you.
As he's leaving, I'll just be like, "You're supposed to be dead."
He turns around. He turns around and looks at you like, "You threatening me now?"
No.
Yeah, you started on that, Gritch, and I give you the like, don't you just shut up.
I'm not the one who killed him. And I like say it past tense.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Jesus.
I mean, if you want to read either of them or the situation.
Yeah, I do. I want to read Gritch because I feel the mire of Gritch just like sucking me in again. Like we were just here. We were just about to ditch you because of psychic bullshit, and now I just feel it coming back. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read you.
Okay.
Okay.
And so Eugene has left the room?
No, Eugene is standing in the doorway like, what, motherfucker? Like, we're not done? Like, I'll take another swing at you. Let's do this again.
Right.
I'll just say to him, I'm not going to get into this
God.
fight with a ghost, and I just close the door on him, so it's just me and Frankie in the room.
So as you're closing, like you go to close the door, he's like, "I'm not the ghost. You're the fucking ghost, you spook-ass motherfucker." And you're like, "Yeah, just get the fuck out."
You're doing that, like reaching past me and closing the door and giving him lip, and I grab you by the front of the shirt. You slam the door, and I slam you back against the cupboard where you were originally.
Yeah.
This again.
Out. Yeah.
It went so
That's enough. That is enough. Shut up. Don't talk to him. Just fuck. And I don't hurt you. Like, I don't slam you. I push you against the and I let you go, and I like turn my back on you, and I've still got the gun in my hand, and I'm just like, God damn it.
Frankie, why don't you put your gun down and have a seat with me?
He's so infuriating.
What does your character intend to do, Andrew?
I'm going to like explain something to you. In like, I feel like I want to help you.
You're going to explain something to me. Okay.
So yeah, like you get the sense that like Gritch has something to say, and it's like, oh, Gritch is gonna go through this whole like preachy moment. But
all right, so I sit down on one side of the cubby, and I like set the pistol down on the table. I'm holding onto it.
Yeah, I like look down at that, shrug, and just like sit across from you.
I'm not pointing it at you,
but you could be.
I could be.
I'm pointing it around you.
I'm.
See that?
Yeah. My whole vibe is just like, okay, explain it. Whatever. Good luck with that. There's no way you could explain this. That's her whole body language.
Yeah. Just like, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. This is gonna be great.
In as much as we are in the middle of a swamp of sorts, there's that other kind of quicksand that I'm trying to help you find your way through. I don't know. I know you don't always like it. I wish we didn't have to do this, but we seem to keep finding ourselves getting pulled in. And I'm trying to help you, Frankie. I warned you about Tao. I wasn't wrong there. These, whatever just happened. And I like pause and I'm like, I don't really remember what just happened, but I feel like maybe I can get to the bottom of that. That was very strange.
So is he going to be screaming and cutting himself in my cabin later? Am I going to have to shoot Eugene? Is that what you're telling me?
Now, Eugene's problem is unique, not one I've seen before, but he's not supposed to be here. This is... I mean, you remember that time when we chased those people after they tried to kill me? And we went and we found them, and then we just woke up elsewhere. Imagine if that happened and one of us was a different person, and maybe they had always been there all along.
The fuck are you talking about?
But the replacement wasn't perfect. There's still bits and pieces, continuity problems. Eugene isn't supposed to be here. I don't know who's supposed to be here instead, but Eugene died years ago. It's like someone's rewritten us. Okay, maybe, sorry, as a player, I must apologize. That was getting really meta and stupid. Not really where I meant to go.
That's good. It's fine. I mean, it sounds like a kind of thing Gritch would say.
Yeah. But yeah, something is wrong about Eugene being here, and that's why Eugene is so fucked up. That's why when I was singing, I don't know why I was singing. I don't sing. But something was in my mind, some itch in the back of my memory, and I found pieces, hints of this. So it worries me. It worries me that something else is going on.
Yeah.
Something larger.
It worries me too. And I want to get clear of this so we can get back to business as fucking usual. How's that going to happen?
I think I need to talk to Nothing. Everything seems to point back to him. You don't have to come with me. But let's get out of this. That's where it leads. That's the way out. I don't know if he has answers, or we need to kill him, or maybe he'll save us. It's not clear.
All right. So once again, Frankie has given Gritch leverage because she's at the end of her rope, and has just been like, "Fine, then tell me what to do, weirdo. I'm tired of this weird."
I like that the end of Frankie's rope is a noose named Gritch.
So yeah, I'm giving you leverage. I'm going to request that if you want to get your way here, you're going to need to manipulate me, because I don't think I'm just going to do it because you ask. I think I'm looking for answers, but you're going to have to convince me. It's going back to Nothing after what's happened with Tao and everything. Like, that's a tall order.
So I think what Gritch will say is, I can show you. That like ominous look.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, right. Yeah, thanks, Pinhead.
You really want to be sure? I'll show you. But I mean, look at what seeing it did to me. And ask yourself if you really want to become like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is your chance, right? Like, make your move. Maybe Frankie's willing to just fucking cash your chips in and go for it.
So I'm manipulating you?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm rolling Hex with you to do it because of
Right, you have weird brain remove.
So I'm just gonna roll some dice and add 1, so I get an 8.
Okay. I am not interfering, am I? No, I don't think so. I think she actually is. Like, again, this is almost the same situation as before, where she was just like, and you were like, let's do this, and then we did it, and all that shit happened, and now we're back where we were, and she's just like, fuck. So is it the carrot or the stick?
You can have a carrot.
You know me.
And basically, what I'm really offering here is like, or what I'm really asking for ultimately is like, let me maybe scan your brain or like get you on my level in terms of some weirdness.
Well, and that's what she wanted. Like before everything went bad and they were going to ditch you, she did want you to do that. She wanted to like have a session with you, and then all that shit happened that kind of ruined that potential. So we're back there again, and you're offering it again, and it's I think she will take it. It's a combination of, again, feeling like her nice life of running the boat and pulling jobs and getting away clean has come to a screeching halt over the past week or so. A combination of that and also feeling like maybe she's got a handle on this Maelstrom bullshit now, that she's not as vulnerable as she used to be, so, which is not necessarily true at all. So yeah, I will. I'll take the XP and I'll go along with the brain scan.
And I think the like capstone to Gritch's like little fancy argumentation is just Frankie, you know you can't run from a storm. You have to drive through it.
That's the perfect thing to say. She she clicks the safety back on and puts her pistol away, and she's like, "All right, how do we do this?"
Somebody tweet me that line.
So I think we have to like relocate because I need to like get all my like drugs and whatnot, and I get you good and hopped up, and sit you down in maybe my cabin because now yours is all fucked up.
So before that scene happens, I want to see like what happens to. I want to cut to where Eugene went after he stormed out.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the situation with like living quarters on the boat? Does I assume the boat's not big enough that everybody has their own room. Is there like a central room where most of you sleep, or like how's the layout work for that?
Well, before, I think in the beginning, I thought everyone had their own room.
The captain has her own room.
And Gritch did.
Gritch has a room that Gritch uses for weird stuff.
I think
we decided that the room I used for weird stuff was the mess hall that we were just in.
I'm sure there's got to be like a bunk that we all.
I imagine Navarre must have her own room, or like Smith, one of those two. Maybe I have like, since I'm a recent addition, I don't really have that.
For me, it's like I don't know enough about the size of the boat to see if it makes sense.
Yeah, so maybe John can help us out there.
Yeah, do you have thoughts on that, Frankie?
You're muted, just so you know.
I muted Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Okay. We have boat questions, John.
Yeah. Sorry. So, what does Eugene have his own room? Was that the question?
I just want to know, does anybody, or like how would that?
Yeah, there's probably originally there were probably like 8 berths on this thing, but there's maybe 4 left. I bet the others are maybe like storage for shit we haul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's like 4 actual berths, and then there could be a hammock slung in the cargo area too, or something like that.
Okay, so then I guess maybe Navarre, you're in yours or near yours with like the door open or something, and you hear Eugene coming, like talking to himself. He's like, "Fucking rich, fucking spooky ass piece of shit, fucking get in my head," mumbling away, and then he gets louder as he gets closer, and then you hear his like door to his berth slam open, and then you can see if you look across the hall, he's just like got a duffel bag, and he's just like stuffing things into it.
I was examining my second set of armor since we did not I didn't put it in Gritch's room because that's not how it played out.
Yeah.
And so, but if I see him upset, like, I still care. So I'm going to, especially if he's talking about Gritch and he's cursing Gritch, I'm going to just kind of go to the door and ask, what's going on?
So he turns around and you can see he's got like a smear where like blood has come out of his nose and he's like wiped it away, but not like cleaned his face. There's this like smear of blood. There's a little bit on like his ear too.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I can't handle this shit anymore. I am getting off this fucking boat. We are cursed. And that asshole, I'm never letting him in my head again, or anybody for that fucking matter. And he turns around and like keeps packing.
I mean, I don't think I would stop him because everybody has their choice to come and go in this world because it's a pretty sparse place. But, yeah, I'm not sure how much dialogue I would have with him other than,
Okay, so if you, I mean, he's willing to talk to himself by way of you,
Yeah.
but I think at one point he finishes with a bag and like zips it up and then goes to get something else from a dresser, and he looks at you and he's like, "You should come with me. It's only going to get worse here, and it's only a matter of time before that fucker gets in your head too. It's bad enough trying to keep everything straight all the time, not having him up in there fucking with your shit. He tried to fucking kill me with his brain. This is bullshit, and I'm done with it, and you should come with me. Jericho's got a place for you. I know it. We've talked about this."
You know, I hear you, and I'm sorry you're upset, but you let him in originally, and you allowed this to happen. And I've been with Gritch for a little while now, and I think I'm in enough control, and I'll help you get to where you need to go. But
so he's like, "What? So you're gonna take that creep over me?"
I don't think it's like that, and I hope you
Yeah,
don't
of
make
course
it
it's
like that.
And he's like starts like his voice escalates now, like he's like shouting. He's like, "Of course it's like that. What are you fucking talking about? You see what happened to me?" And he like shows you the blood. He's like, "Gritch did that."
I have to know both sides of the story. I'm sorry, Eugene. I'm not gonna go, but I'll help you as much as I can.
He just shakes his head. He's like, fuck this boat, fuck them, fuck you, I'm out. And he like shoves past you with his like bag in one hand. And you notice as he shoves past, he's left the sword leaning up against his bunk.
I don't say anything.
Okay.
There's that sense of respect for weapons that I have, and based on our last interaction when I gave his back to his, I don't feel that sense of respect.
So you feel like he doesn't deserve it, he hasn't earned it?
Correct. So I leave it. Plus, if he's mad at me, I don't want him armed and out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it isn't like you can just pull his head off with your bare hands,
Sure.
but whatever.
But I mean, you know.
Yeah, he storms past you and like up outside into the storm. So he like opens the hatch and you hear the storm like outside, the like wind and rain, and he just like walks out onto the deck.
I just go back to my armor.
Okay.
I'm not going to risk my life. He's being a jerk.
Yeah.
We're trying to play as a team here, and he is not. And I know that right now. Like, if this isn't the time of my life where I'm trying to be independent. It's my time of life where I'm trying to work with this team. And the other passengers or the other parts of my team haven't done anything to indicate, shady stuff here. So, and I've seen Gritch do some weird things, or at least I feel like I've seen Gritch do some weird things. And
yeah, I mean, I guess that's my question. Like, do you trust Gritch?
I trust Gritch more than I trust Eugene, because the other thing too is I hugged Eugene. I don't hug people. Something weird is going on.
I love Navarre's like the way that you think about that. Like, I don't trust you because you made me hug you.
Yeah,
and that's
totally. That's exactly what it is. Like,
that's so good.
Gritch, my like the way I am towards Gritch hasn't changed. Like, we've still interacted the same way. There's still something normal going on. Frankie's the same way.
Hey,
Eugene,
Gritch,
I hugged.
Someone's standing up for you, Gritch.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
So,
meanwhile, downstairs, Gritch is about to mindfuck the captain. So let's see how that
goes. At her own, accord.
It's
consensual. Exactly.
It's good. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go very well.
Sure,
lots of awkward consensual behavior. All right. So you were describing how things are set up, Gritch.
Yeah. So like, I guess we're in my cabin now.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is the venue I have chosen. And it's like
I
I haven't really
mine. It's still all fucked up.
Yeah, there is
Covered in
definitely.
blood. That's right.
I think there's still a dead body in your cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, so like there's not a whole lot of stuff. It's pretty like rudimentary and like plain. It's just like there's like a crate that I put a bunch of my possessions in that I'm keeping with me, and then like a featureless bunk. So it's pretty like generic. And I get you to like sit down on the bed, and I have like a little stool that I sit on, get some drugs out, like make you a little dose, and hand it to you to drink. And you're muted.
Sorry.
I like seeing the
And,
cursing
yeah.
come from behind the mute. It's funny.
I do it enough that I have an emote for chat to tell me I'm muted. So
Nice.
So yeah, I like hand you the little like cup of water, and just start like talking you through like what you remember about what's happened lately. And then like about midway through that conversation, there's just this like weird shift where suddenly we're not in my room anymore,
nice.
and we're like,
So, watching it, is it like hypnosis? Is it like
there's an element of that for sure.
so you talk like calmly and like
Mhm.
walk them through the transition as the drugs take effect?
Yeah, exactly. So like,
Cool. I imagine
you're
the
slipping
scene.
in because of the medication, but I'm just there to like.
I imagine the scene as being like a bit like kind of like a God, what's that really depressing movie about heroin?
Requiem for a Dream.
That one. So
Yeah.
the like where like there's this calm like Gritch voiceover as we see like you put like eye drops in Frankie's eyes and her like pupils dilate and you like put the IV in or whatever, and then like close up of her hand with like the pill bottle and then like the water, just as you're like, now imagine a place, and you're like talking through it.
Mhm.
And then suddenly like it cuts back to both of you and you're not in the ship anymore.
Your camera did like a fade in and out thing, like because you put your hand up close, like right at the perfect moment.
Awesome.
It was totally like I felt like I was gonna go into the sequence. That was cool.
Red.
So yeah, we're like inside the like rusted out like psychic terror version of my cabin now.
Great.
So it's just like everything is just kind of a little bit like weathered and old looking and dry.
Yeah.
I think like everything's really dry. There's the feeling of water outside, but everything is, it's like a little bit hotter than
I was gonna say
normal.
like a hot, dry, like rusty,
like weird metal sauna.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck!
The rust is like powdery instead of wet. It's this like
Yeah, and I reach into my like crate of things in the corner that was like had my mundane possessions in it, and I pull out like a little like one of those snap lights where you like, or like light rods where you like break it and it starts glowing.
Yeah.
So I grab that and hand it to you, and that's like our little like token that connects us, and then we like go for a walk.
Cool.
Woo. Okay. I don't
Which
hurt
is this?
your brain.
Is this deep brain scan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo, close.
I don't just hurt your brain.
So I get 2 questions. So, and I mean, I guess like what I'm hoping for, broadly speaking, is I want Frankie to remember Smith.
Yeah.
Like, so you're going looking for the phantom person.
Mm-hmm. But like maybe that vision of Smith like manifests as an answer to one of these questions. So
well, maybe when we go out in the hall of the dry, rusty place, we hear singing in the distance. Maybe.
Yeah, and there's like some cigarette smoke in the air.
Yeah,
too. And it's obviously like Duke of Earl, right? And then that's where you put it together. Like you're like, that's the thing I was humming. I've had this stuck in my head. And there's probably a moment where both of you are like, wait, whose head are we in here?
Yeah.
Nice.
It gets all the cell on us.
Yeah, well, and that it's like it's kind of both of our heads, right? It's like we're sharing this experience. So I think I'm going to ask, what does your character crave forgiveness?
Oh.
And maybe this was something that like Smith was around when it was happening, or it involves Smith directly.
Smith was around, yeah. Smith was making a connection with her and starting to make progress, and then I murdered her. Her name was Tao. Um,
Cool.
I don't like healing is just not Frankie's thing. She's a daredevil and she's a violent survivor, but taking people's lives just isn't really her thing. And I think you're getting impressions too that she wants to turn Navari into her and not the other way around. And like maybe as we walk through this rusty hallway, there's like this cabin door that looks like Frankie's cabin door, and it's open, and we haven't gotten parallel to it yet, or perpendicular to it yet. We're still down the hall, and there's this continuous like gunshot flash happening
Just like
in the room,
playing on repeat over and
like
over
popping, yeah, but no noise. And it's this like knee-jerk danger killing reflex that came out of her that she really does not want to be that person, and she thought that she was bringing Navari on board her ship to like bring her out of that, and she's falling into it instead.
And like as we're approaching that door, I like put my hand on your shoulder and I'm just like, we don't have to go here.
So that voice and the hand on your shoulder, it's like a girl's hand and a girl's voice, and she's bleeding from a shot to the chest. Like it's Tao that's standing next to you that says like, we don't have to go here.
Yeah, and when I turn around to look at her, I'm holding the pistol and smoking.
Yeah.
And I'm in my room with the maps covered in blood on the walls.
Yeah.
And Frankie's just like not herself, you know, her stony Michelle Forbes face cracks, and she's like, I'm sorry. And she's saying that, and she's just like clicking the
Click.
over again.
Yeah, awesome.
And so I like give you a hug, and maybe you like close your eyes in the moment of the hug, and then when you open them again, we're somewhere else. And we're talking about car alarms. We're talking about what your character's secret pains are.
Yikes.
Whoa.
Loud motorcycles.
Yeah, my character's secret pains. Oh, yeah, I know. Huh. Good question, Andrew. I never thought of this before. Now we're at it. This is like the familiar motif for this episode of our TV show, I guess, is the putting the boat together montage. We're back there, cleaning parts, and I'm singing with somebody. We're like singing this song together. What would it be? I wish Austin was here. He always has the best.
I know.
And it's like I don't have a good selection, but out of the corner of my eye, there's this beautiful black guy that I'm singing with, and like it's not Eugene really. It's indistinct in this, and I like reach out and he hands me a part, and I'm like fitting it onto the engine block. We're singing together, and just as my hand brushes his and I go to put it in, I have this thing happens. It's like the moment that had happened for Frankie when she fell in love with Smith, and all the stuff I said in the first episode as John and me and Austin saying like, yeah, we were friends before and we had sex and it was no big deal.
That's no big deal.
It's like, that is all a lie. It was so much more than that, and it was this really intense like partnership, and like we were married, if you want to look at it that way. Like
yeah.
Well, you guys built a home together, essentially.
Yeah, we totally did, and that experience, that like bond, was really deep and romantic for Frankie anyway. And I think, I don't want to speak for Austin here, but
sure.
I suspect for Smith as well.
Frankie felt like it for okay.
Exactly right, and it's fair to say Smith could have been manipulating her the whole time, but
well, so I have a question. What about like is this a thing that is a secret from everybody but Frankie, where Frankie is like,
Was it secret to Frankie as well?
or was this the secret to you as well? And the two of you just made up this cover story to be like, well, I'm sure we must just be buds, right? And you're now remembering like, oh fuck, I'm actually really in love with you.
I think it's a recovered like memory, basically. Like,
sure,
we've been together long enough that we've gone through all these phases of forgetting in various ways at different rates and different aspects of our relationship. And because this is what Gritch does, right? He like goes back and finds these little treasures in your memory and brings them out to you. And
incredibly painful treasures.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah, and so right now in the moment, in the maelstrom, in the mind, in the brain scan, she realizes she's like deeply in love and bonded with this person who doesn't exist.
Yeah. Cool. And I think that's a perfect segue to the sort of last shot where like we pull away from that and like get back into the actual room where like Frankie's sitting there with Gritch, and we go out to the deck of the ship and it's all dark and there's lightning and stuff, and we see a figure, like we see somebody from behind standing at the railing, and the camera like pulls in towards their face, and we go to credits just as they start to turn their head.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
Beautiful.
Awesome. All right, so Navarre, who knows your character better?
Oh man, that's hard. Like both of them do, I think. Gritch and I had a moment, didn't we? Or was that? I can't remember. It's too much happened in this episode.
Too many moments.
I know.
So much.
Because Frankie got some good. Well, I guess Frankie got more insight on herself than on me, so I'd say Gritch.
Okay. Yeah, I roll over.
Nice.
So that's what it takes to get you to roll over. Fine.
Racking up that XP.
That's right. Okay. So Gritch, who knows you better?
I would have to say Frankie. Frankie just saw me like mind explode someone at the very
That is fair.
And then also Frankie actually got to like be taken into the weird maze.
Yeah, you've seen the space. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I have positive history with you now, finally.
Miraculous. Frankie?
It has to be Gritch, right?
Has to be Gritch.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Great, and I think that's it. So I've got the thread for highlighting up and ready, so we'll have that ready for next time. I'm just going to carry Smith July's highlight from the last episode over to the next one.
Perfect.
So that should be up on the Roll20 subreddit. Let's do some post-show stuff. Tell us about yourselves, cast members.
Go, John.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm John Harper. I'm a game designer. You can find my stuff at 17design.com, all written out. I have a Patreon. It's all linked up from there. I'm a huge Apocalypse World fanatic, and I played a whole lot of it. And this is one of the best Apocalypse World series I've ever been involved in. It's so good. It might be a contender for number one, which is saying something because I've had a lot of games. This has just been so kick-ass. I'm loving it. Follow me on Twitter too at John_Harper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter at Commuting Crow. I love hearing feedback, and people have been really generous with their comments and making cool like fan art and stuff. There was one of like Smith strangling Gritch that got posted like last night or something. It was super cool. I'm just loving being here. It's really fun. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and thanks for all the feedback.
Sweet. Well, I will go next. We'll let Adam go last. I'm Avison or Stephanie. You can follow me at m_Avison or follow Roll20 at Roll20 app on Twitter. That is me posting and letting you know when the show's coming live and stuff. We're also headed to Gen Con pretty soon. So if you're going to be there, please say hi. There's a Roll20 event going on too. Whoops, I need new update on my software. Everyone just saw that. My Apple pop-up. Anyway, we're all going to Gen Con at the end of July, early August. There's like 4 more days left in our t-shirt campaign. Check the Twitter. It's all linked there. Register for the event. We're all going to be, Adam, myself, and the 4 others from the team are all going to be, did I count wrong? Or is there 3 other people? No, there's 4. They're all going to be, it's a long day, all going to be on a panel at Gen Con, and we'd love to hear from you there. So you can also check out Misclicks for me if you want to, MISSCLIKS. There's lots of role-playing on YouTube under that. And that's all I got. Thanks for watching.
Cool. Well, y'all know me. I'm your MC. Skinny Ghost on Twitter. That's where I post everything. I'm a full-time nerd now, so I'm playing. I just got my Witcher 3 playthrough started. You can follow that if you're interested at twitch.tv/Adam Coble. I also host all the shows that I'm on, so any of the Roll20 Presents content, like this beautiful show you're watching right now, and any other role-playing content that I do, no matter where it is, can be hosted straight through there. So throw me a follow. Obviously, throw a follow here. Show your support if you like the game. I want to give a big shout-out to our mods, especially Arath, who's like super on top of the game today, and the chat for playing along every time someone new came in and was like, "Where's the 4th player?" And then everyone was like, "What 4th player? This is how it's following."
I didn't even notice. I like that.
Seriously,
I haven't had Twitch open at all.
The chat has been my favorite psychic maelstrom so far. You're all doing
Awesome.
great.
Thank you, chat.
So if you are watching this on Twitch and want to, you can hop over to my Twitch channel. In about an hour, I'm going to be playing The Witcher and hanging out. But most importantly, because I want you to influence the game, and it works. It really, like, you see, it really works. Like, people are doing the things that get highlighted. Go over to the Roll20 subreddit. I've posted a Q&A there. I'll answer any questions you have about the game, and you can highlight people's stats for next game. And if you're around tomorrow at 11 o'clock, same place, same time, I'm going to be doing my GM turn. So it's an hour of behind-the-scenes stuff for the game where I let you in on all of my mysterious brain secrets. So make sure you tune in for that. Otherwise, great session, everybody. You are all very impressive role players. I have a great time playing this game with you.
Well, we like having you as a DM, Adam.
Well, let's do it again. Let's do it again next week.
Sounds good. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.